On this week's Tuesday Talk, we are discussing our least favorite things about Airstream living.
You said that all serious. It's time to be serious.
In truth, this actually took us a little bit of work to figure out what our least favorite things
We had to sit down and come
are.
up with it.
And what's funny is that next week's Tuesday Talk, in honor of Thanksgiving, is going to be
What we're grateful.
what we're grateful for and our favorite things about Airstream living. So, little teaser. Those were much easier to come up with. But, okay. So what is your least favorite thing about Airstream living?
Yeah, my least favorite, I guess, is you really feel the weather a lot in an Airstream. And that really goes for any RV. It's not something that's specific necessarily to the Airstream. But when you live in something that's 200 square feet, you're really going to feel the weather around you, whether it's heavy rain, whether it's hail, or whether it's really cold or really hot out. We have a single AC. It's a 15,000 BTU AC, but it's only just one AC for a 30-foot Airstream.
And we live in southern Arizona.
And we live in southern Arizona.
In October, it was still 98 degrees with full sun.
The hottest day of this entire year was 116 degrees.
With no clouds in the sky.
And the AC struggled to keep it below, I think, about 90 or so. During the day, it would cool off at night, of course, but during the day, it was warm. And even if you have two ACs, you're probably going to feel that heat a little bit more than if you were living in a house and you have 1,600, 2,000, 3,000 square feet of buffer between you and the outside elements.
And the same can be said for insulation for being cold. So we
For
haven't
sure.
had to deal with that yet. We don't plan on dealing with being too cold, but the Airstream is not exactly the most insulated.
Yeah,
No RV really is. But
Yeah, one of the things that we like about RV travel is the ability to connect with nature. But when nature isn't so kind to you, that connection isn't all that desired at that point. So what's one of our favorite things is also one of our least favorite things, at least mine, when things get not so optimal. Nothing that we can't handle. It's just something that you have to deal with. And if you follow the weather, which we are definitely planning to do, for example, Pacific Northwest next summer, not Tucson, Arizona next summer, it'll be a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it for me.
Okay. So my least favorite thing has to be entertaining in the Airstream. So we have my family come down often. They don't stay in the Airstream with us except when it's just my brother. But so for this past weekend, my dad and my mom and both their dogs that are little were down visiting us. And when we're outside, it's not too bad. You have the outside area to also be part of, but it was still pretty hot. And so we were mostly inside. And even though we have that big couch, it's not enough really for 4 people. So three of us would try to sit on the couch. Sometimes only 2 people with all the dogs would be on the couch. Somebody else would be on our little ottoman. Steve brought in one of our freestyle rockers and had that in the living room as well.
There's a video on that, by the way.
There is. And, we love them, but with 4 people, 4 dogs, it just was crowded, and it wasn't the most comfortable. And in addition, we could help ourselves out a little bit here, but when it came time to eat, we don't have an outside light bright enough to really eat by. And so we couldn't have the 4 of us sit outside to eat. Our dinette is set up as an office, so we don't have room for 4 people to sit there to eat. And even if we did, that would be tight. And so my mom and I sat at the dinette, and my dad and Steve sat on the couch with the fold-out tables to have dinner. So there was no way to really have dinner.
He had the fold-out
together.
table. I didn't. I eat off my lap
You may have
like I
seen that on
usually do.
Instagram. But and also we have friends who have bigger rigs. So we have a friend here who has a big 5th wheel, and we almost always go to their place because they have a big TV and they have lots of space and lots of seating.
And they have a party deck off the side of their rig.
It's pretty awesome.
It's one of those open ranges. Really cool.
It's really
party
cool.
deck.
We don't need it. I like our Airstream, but it's really nice to know somebody who has it. But But what that means is that we are always going to their place to be entertained because it's just more comfortable for everyone that way. And that kind of
For the most part, that's true.
A little bit sad. I'm sure we get better lighting so we can eat outside. It gets cooler so we can be outside more. We have our cool fire pit. We'll start doing more entertaining here at the Airstream. But I do miss the ability. We used to host a giant party every November for like 30 people. And now it's hard to even host two very comfortably.
It was a pie party. Everybody brought different pies, like savory and sweet,
awesome
and it was
party.
Delicious experience. Went way into the evening, like probably 8.
No,
9.
It started at 5 and went till 10.
Oh.
Yeah.
Went till 10.
Savory and sweet pies. I'm telling you.
Leftovers
if you want a cool
for days.
Pie party. Everybody brings a pie.
It's a good idea.
So yeah, so I think that's my least favorite thing. Lots of ways we can remedy that. It's not a huge deal, but I miss it a little bit, being able to entertain better. So that's it for our least favorite things about Airstream living. Like I said, it was actually kind of tough to come up with those.
Yeah.
In general, we're pretty happy, and you'll hear all about that next week on our Tuesday talk when we talk about being grateful and our favorite things.
That'll probably be a longer video because there's so much more to talk about.
We'll have to cut that one down.
Editing,
yes, your job. So as always, if you like this series, we'd love it if you let us know in the comments, if you gave us a big old thumbs up.
That would be cool.
Let us know more questions. This came from people asking us questions in the comments.
I think all these have, haven't they?
A lot of them have.
Yeah.
So if you have any question whatsoever, please let us know. We'd love to hear it, and you'll probably get an answer back either directly from us in the comments or on a future Tuesday talk. And as always, we'd love it if you would subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing.
Guess that's it.
Yeah. We'll see you
Awesome.
next week.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.